Huskers! Welcome to National Signing Day 2024. Let's go! Heck yeah! All right. The first two are in. Dylan Rayola. Huskers! Let's go!
He's all nervous right now. I told him you're good.
Yeah, it's coming right now. I'm on Saturday.
Anytime that you can get one really difference-making quarterback, you have a chance. If you get two difference-making quarterbacks, that's special because iron sharpens iron. I think competition, those guys competing and working with each other is going to be something fun for us to watch moving forward.
I'm never going to apologize for bringing in good players. And I'm never going to apologize for bringing in competition. You know, as long as I'm not taking away your scholarship, I'm not going to apologize to you if I'm bringing in someone else. And I want players who want that. Like, I want to be the best, so I have to probably play with the best and compete against the best, and so that's why I respect Daniel so much for the decision he made.
Hey, Danny, I tried to call you earlier. Did you get my text? What's up?
When we came in and recruited the last class, you're going off of this is what we are going to do, and hope to do. And now that you put it on tape after a year, you're able to say, hey, this is what we are. This is what we did.
Congratulations, thank you for getting everything done.
Thank you, we're so happy, we can't wait.
We'll see you out here soon.
Alright, sounds good.
All right, Nico Anamanelli in the house.
Hey, put it through the uprights, man.
Whose phone is this?
This is a special place. It's a national brand. It's a blue blood brand. So I think seeing the improvements that we made this year, I think that people can sense the direction this program is headed. I think, you know, with Coach Rule being as dynamic as a head coach as he is, I think people are wanting to come here. And when they get here and they get to see what it's all about, I think it's hard for them to turn down the opportunity.
Today's been great. Great day to be a Husker.
They got you on the camera, bro.
Hey, dude, man, go be red. I told y'all we coming. It's up from here.
Let's go. Coach.
You ready? Man, we love you. We appreciate you, bro. I hope that today is a wonderful, wonderful moment in their lives and a day that they remember, a day that their lives change, where they had a chance to come to the University of Nebraska and earn an amazing degree, meet wonderful people, have great experiences. But again, I always remind them this is just the beginning. Oh my God, is that an ab?
Only.
Is that an ab or a fat roll? That's like a.
Hey, thanks to you, I went to the gym at 5 this morning, though. Huh? I went to the gym 5 o'clock this morning because of you.
I told you that. I'm like, well, here's what Nash has taught us all. If you eat less and work out, you do lose weight.
Science does work. It can happen.
But you're all like, oh, I gotta try that. Kristen, what should I be eating? Less.
Yeah, just less.
I respect it so much, man. A lot of guys wouldn't have the guts to go do it. It's awesome.
Yeah, get it out there.
But my wife literally canceled, she canceled events on Saturday to come there to be there. She's like, I'm not missing the Nash. And the girls are missing Zero the Hero. I'm like, it's here.
We have a special curveball with Nash Hutmacher, one of the best.
Okay, he's wrestling. I said, well, guess what? Your first match. We're there. Anybody who's in town, we're going to show up.
There's just a feeling here that is undescribable.
I haven't been that nervous since maybe like his sophomore year of high school.
Nash is best when he's in competition.
I don't know if I was more nervous or more excited about it. You kind of have those doubts in your head, like, God, I haven't done this for 4 years.
And here it is. Here's the moment you've all been waiting for.
Nash Hutmacher comes storming out.
Everyone, the Devaney just going crazy. It was like, we're doing this. Like, I'm ready to go.
He's gonna be good. It's just how good is the question.
Yeah.
It kind of all started, Manning just called me kind of out of the blue, just sent me a text and said, give me a call when you got some time. So I called him and they wanted to see if I was interested in wrestling, and I immediately was like, I have no idea. Like, I'm gonna have to talk to some people.
We got a text that said, Mark Manning asked me if I would wrestle. My immediate response and thought was, well, no, there's no way the coaches are gonna allow this, the football coaches. So then he said he's going to meet with Coach Rule and Coach Knighton.
After the Iowa game, it was like, hey, okay, let's get ready for the offseason. Hey, Nash, these are the things you need to improve on. And then one day he walks him off and say, hey,
I think they want me to wrestle.
I saw Nash walk down the hallway, and then maybe 5 to 10 minutes later, I see T. Knight and Nash walk slowly, and they kind of stop, and they're just looking at me in the doorframe, okay? So I'm like, okay, what's going on, guys? And so T. Knight's like, hey, what do you think about Nash wrestling for Nebraska? He's like, oh, really? I said, okay, well, you got to go down and see what the head man says.
Nash had texted me, Coach, can I come in and see you? And I was like, why are you texting me? Like, of course you can come in and see me. And I asked Terrence, I said, was everything okay with Nash? He said, well, I think he wants to talk to you about wrestling. And I had the conversation with Coach Manning in my office where I was like, 100% he should wrestle. Like, ask him to wrestle. So he still came in and spoke with me, and I was 100% for it. And I said, do it. You don't have to come see me, just do it. Like, great.
I had kind of heard a rumor at first that he was going to wrestle. And then T-Knight told me one day, he was like, Kristen, he's going to wrestle. I was like, you guys realize he's got to lose 45 pounds. At first I was like, I don't know about this. I was a little nervous, right? But I was like, all right, if he's all about it, I'm all about it. We'll get there. So a big thing we did is I worked with Ron, who's a wrestling dietitian. We kind of sat down and we went over like, all right, what are Nash's day need to look like? What are his needs? How do we make sure that he's able to go into this the right way and perform at the right level, and just making sure it's not stressful on him, and that we have a good understanding, both of us, of like, all right, this is what we want for Nash to make sure that he's getting what he needs.
Baby bear. Morning.
From a health and wellness side, we got to figure out how we're going to do this and how we're going to do it the right way. Working with the wrestling, strength coach and their dietitian, constant communication with us about how we have to handle Nash's training, how we have to handle, him cutting weight. It was something that I hadn't done before, but it was something that Nash wanted to do it, so we had to figure out the way for him to do it.
He just went down from eating 6 meals a day to 3, like what a normal person would eat. And he went from eating 8, 9 eggs for breakfast to 4. So I'd say he just really cut back and made healthy choices.
So kind of things we looked at is just eliminating late night food, eliminating extra carbs where he didn't need it, making sure he was really eating around practice times or workout times.
When he finished playing Iowa, he had to be 325, 330. He said that he was wrestling 285. And I was like, okay, man, I'm no genius, but that's a lot of weight you got to lose, you know what I'm saying? And then we actually went over there and watched a practice. When you go over there and watch those guys practice and the program that they got, you understand why. The wrestling room is hot. It's just hot just to be hot over there. So you're just losing weight just walking around there.
Those first couple weeks getting back, just trying to get back into wrestling shape and drop some pounds was difficult.
Hey, I've got to wipe this out, and I keep it personal. It'll mean something. It's not something to get clever. You got to take it personal. It's got to mean something.
I was talking with Coach Tervel. Nash had told him he missed the grind, he missed the misery. You're choosing suffering, and there's something addicting about just that grind, that day-to-day grind.
For that guy to go on to be as disciplined, to watch his diet, to really invest in his body, to get with Kristen and all that kind of stuff, that just shows you, right? You truly can do anything. And I think that's the best thing about this whole deal, is that you get one shot at life, right? And for him to do that, him to say, I'm all in, I tell you what, that's some big time stuff.
I just can't get over all the support he has. He cut weight in high school, and he had me and Joe supporting him, but here he's got like the entire football program behind him, the players and the coaches. And when I realized that, I was like, there's no doubt in my mind that he's going to get this done.
I just felt like that the coaches really had Nash's back in this. And I think they know that Nash loves to wrestle. And I think it's pretty cool that Coach Rule, Coach Knight, and then the football staff has really got behind him.
When the date was set for him to get down to that weight, it was like, all right, we're really going to do this. And it was definitely a group effort, but ultimately it was Nash's discipline and dedication and will and want to achieve those goals. He got down to the weight that he needed to compete, and it was a special day, in his first match.
definitely comfortable with it because of the staff and the relationships that he made. And all the schools we went to, we were here literally like 4 hours, and he said, this place is home, and it hasn't changed one bit since then.
Yeah. This ain't one of ours right here.
Hey, let's bring that inside.
I'm about to end here now.
This technology is just sitting in the snow.
Well, I mean, it's an easy choice for us because we love the staff, we love their commitment to these kids and their commitment to rebuild the program and bring it back. So yeah, it was easy for us. Go Big Red, we love it.
It's definitely a jump, long way from home, different environment, different culture. We really enjoyed the coaching staff and, just a family environment. We felt that he was going to be in good hands with the team up here. Coach Rob, has done a great job of connecting with him even prior to him getting here, and through the whole process, before he was committed, while he's been committed, since he's been here, Coach Rob hasn't changed. He's been the same way. He's done a great job of connecting with Willis, and that's what we were looking for, was who was going to connect with him, because once we're gone, his support system, once he leaves us, who is he going to have somebody around who he feels comfortable with? And we definitely saw that in Coach Rob.
This is my firstborn, and I'm going to miss him tremendously. But I'm excited. I'm excited that he's actually going to be coming to a school of his choice and doing what he loves to do.
And to give you the real answer to that question, she's already cried about 3 times, and she'll cry about another 3 before she leaves.
Don't do me like that.
I remember me on the OU pre-committed. We were like sitting there looking out there trying to see him.
So Daniel has been coming to games since he was 5, 6, 7 years old. He's always wanted to play here, but he loves Coach Rule, believes in that he's changing the program, and the staff is always very responsive. They're always checking in, making sure we're doing okay. I know if I need anything, I probably have 15 people I can call that will pick up the phone. Same as Daniel. They're always asking about how our family's doing, how he's doing, so it's definitely a family atmosphere.
He had one more shot at this, one more year for eligibility. So we wanted to go to a place where family-oriented, to get him where he needs to be. Just a little tweaking on the field to become a better him and a better football player. So we wanted to find the right home that would support him mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, athletically, to help him get there to be a better him, to be the best football player that he can be.
Having a son who's here already, one of the things that Coach Cooper said to us was, there's nothing that I can say or do from a recruitment perspective, because you have a child who's here already, who's in my room, who's experiencing the culture, the changing culture, the staff, all of the things. But what was also special was that the coaching staff wanted to make sure that Mario had his own experience. And that was really, really important for us, and I think for Mario as well, for him not to just feel like, oh, here I am walking in my big brother's shadows.
Just like she said, it was them actually embracing him and making sure that he was comfortable with his process while bringing him into the family.
Welcome inside the Bob Devaney Center. We have some wrestling here for you on the BTN. Plus, we have the Wyoming Cowboys coming to town, taking on the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
We have a special curveball with Nash Hutmacher, one of the best high school heavyweights in the country. A few years ago, of course, he comes to Nebraska, plays starting defensive tackle. The team informs me their plan is to wrestle him in this duel against Wyoming.
Literally everyone on the football team I talked to, coaches, players, they're all like super excited, and we're just like, when is it? When's it gonna be? Like, we're all coming. So it was pretty awesome when I wrestled against Wyoming and look up before the match, and like the entire section is full of all the football guys. It was pretty awesome, like feeling and moment to be a part of.
Nash is like he's probably like the most famous person in South Dakota. Is it? Gotta be, right?
We are here to see one of our own, the polar bear, wrestle for the first time, dual sport athlete. Let's go.
I'm not sure who was more nervous, me, Joe, or Nash, but
Yeah.
it was
I'm pretty
close, yeah.
I don't know if I was more nervous or more excited about it. You kind of have those doubts in your head, like, God, I haven't done this for 4 years, like, am I still gonna have it? But I would say when I was back there getting ready to go and I walked out and everyone, the Devaney just going crazy, it was like, we're doing this, like, I'm ready to go.
Nash Hutmacher comes storming out, Fargo champ, 4-time state champion, undefeated in high school.
This is just a feeling here that is undescribable.
the look on his face when he stepped on the mat, I could just see how much he likes the sport and how much he's missed it. And then he finally gets up, and I went running down. I was so excited for him. It was the best feeling.
Oh, I'm so proud of you,
Just barely got off the mat, and she's like, ran down, gave me a big old hug, like picked me up. I like couldn't believe it. It was awesome that she could be down there right away to help me celebrate, and just I was super thankful to have her there to be able to watch me.
And to see everyone root for Nash and root for the wrestling program and Coach Manning, that is something that I wish everybody could see. The true support, not for the cameras, not for anybody else, but for Nebraska.
I wasn't at the Wyoming duel. I was at another event up in South Dakota with our youngest son. But I called Nash up afterwards and I told him, of course I'm happy to see you win and I'm proud you won. But I said, what I'm most proud of here is the process you went through to get there. I said, cutting the weight and the dedication. When people look at the results in that 2 minutes out on the mat, is the tip of the iceberg. The foundation's all underneath the water, the help from the staff, the nutritionists, the coaches, his teammates. People see the results, but they don't see what's below the surface, the foundation. It really is like an iceberg.
Can you sign it for
I
me?
can, yeah.
Thank you, and you can have this one.
I can have that? Well, thank you so much.
Yeah. Nash, let's go.
Riley, come on.
First time being back out there and getting the pin like I did, it was just unlike anything I experienced with football. It's just like, you have crazy, awesome moments in football, but it's just like, with wrestling, it's like a different feeling, I guess, because like when you're out there, it's you. It's a feeling that's just like, you don't get it very often, and like to be back out there wrestling and get that feeling that I used to feel all the time with wrestling it was just like such an incredible and awesome moment.
Let's start off. Let's stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Come over here, stand up. I mean this when I say this. I went to the match against, was it Wyoming? Yeah. When he won, some of the guys were in town, were there. The guts it takes, think about the guts it takes to play football, lose all that weight, be a guy that's never lost, and go out there in front of all those people, knowing that I could lose, I could win, I could be terrible at this, I could be good at this. I thought it took a lot of guts. I thought it took a lot of courage, and I think it represents all of us well. When someone here does something well, it reflects on all of us. When someone here does something, it reflects on all of us. But I was so impressed, absolutely impressed, and it was fun to go see it. Are you wrestling again on Sunday?
Yep.
So hopefully you guys will win.
My notebook back. Because this my emergency notebook. You see what I be on in class, boy. Practice.
I was with your brother last night. Told you?
Nah, why you hanging out with my brother? You better not be being a bad influence. Matter of fact, there you go. Why you flooded? He look like why you getting on me? Cuz got the whole fit on, bro.
He got the whole old travel suit on. Yo!
Hey, man. Hey, I respect it. It's just my first day out here.
Yeah.
That's my first day. Oh, man, too excited, bro.
You got the whole travel fit on, bro.
Hey, look at everybody else, though. Everybody looks just like you. Oh, my gosh. All
right, let's just talk about a couple things real quick, and then we'll go ahead and get you guys started on this. Number one, for those of you guys who are new, oh my gosh, it's overwhelming, I get it. There's 3 steps to our process. First, you gotta learn it. You gotta learn what we do. Then you gotta start to live it. It's like, I do this every day, this is what we do, this is our schedule, this is the expectation, this is the standard. And then finally you defend it. We're like, when you see somebody doing something wrong, it makes you sick. That's our process. If you were on the team last year, you spent a whole year learning the process. I don't want new guys having to spend a year to learn the process. You got to bring them along. You got to live out the process. You got to defend it. Hey, it's not what we do kind of some of the time. It's what we do all the time. Last year that's not how Coach Rule wants it. That's not how Corey wants it. That's not how Gus wants it. It's got to now take a step to, that's not what we do. It's the defense getting 1 or 2 points better. It's the special teams getting 1 or 2 points better. We don't have to change anything. We got to get about 3 points better. So when I wake up in the morning, I'm chasing 3 points every single day. That's my whole mindset right now. Because I know we have good players. I know we have good coaches. I know we have good staff. I know we all have dreams about what we can do. The key is to stand from the very beginning. But understand what we're looking for. I'm looking for guys that would rather die than be 2 minutes late, honestly. I'm looking for guys that would rather die than lose. I don't want to lose anymore. I don't want to lose anymore. There's no reason for us to lose anymore. It's time for us to win. But we have to win what? Today, and tomorrow, and the rest of this meeting.
Let us show. Back foot through 10. Back foot through 10. Back foot all the way through.
Well, the goals of this winter is chasing 3 points, right? And what that means is last season we lost a total of 5 games by 3 points.
It's the little things that's affecting you now. It's going to be the little things that affect us in the fall. Get this right now.
And at this point, it's not a factor of are we good enough? It's a factor of, well, what are we going to do to bridge that gap? You got to get bigger, you got to get stronger, you got to get tougher, you got to get more resilient. And those are all attributes that we work on in the offseason. We use the winter to put those guys under duress and under chaotic situations where we can control the environment, because in the fall we can't control the environment.
How bad do you want it? Ramir, can we do it or not? Right? Stand up. Let's go. Last round. Win this rep right. Ready. You got me ready. You got me ready. You got me all worked up. Hey, 1, 5, 11, 1. I ain't doing that with you this year, bro. I am not doing it with you two this year. Ready. Release. Grab water and bring it up on me. God damn. Some of y'all know like where we at and where we need to be. I told y'all that before we go. To come back and say, I'm not waiting on nobody. Because guess what? Chasing them 3 points, that ain't gonna cut it. Because we chasing championships at this point, right? We understand that we were good enough. We lost 5 games by 3 points. That's the difference in 5 and 7 and 10 and 2. We are good enough. Now we gotta take the next step.
They understand that we go through this, it's no longer a threat, it's now a challenge. That's how they'll perceive it in the fall, you know, when the lights are on and they're on the field. You start that first day of winter with some young pups that come in, with some old guys, veteran guys that have come back. So everybody has learned from their experiences throughout the season. Those new guys have never done anything like this in their lives. So I'm excited about it because that's the first day in building a team that we have in that upcoming year. One word that sums up, you know, the winter and why it is different, especially that first day, is growth, right? There's an opportunity for that.
One better on 3. 1, 2, 3. 1 better.
It's the beginning of a new brotherhood.
Just getting some body weights together, finding out what the athletes need most and giving it to them to make sure that they become better football players, whether it be speed, strength, muscle mass, lose body fat, power, whatever it might be, just figuring out exactly what they need, make sure that they do that so they can be better football players on the field. Through testing, through just good strength conditioning practices.
So a big thing for us this semester is really teaching our guys their process and their routine. So teaching them exactly what time they need to be at meals, what they need to eat at meals, what that looks like, how they need to gain weight. We go over with each one of our guys the DEXs they did right after season, and then we set their goal weight, short term and long term, and then we go over them with them.
Fruit and veg, and then your carbs are going to be down here.
Oh,
So,
I think I've been really carb heavy.
and that's what's going to lead to more fat loss. Not that carbs are bad, because when I say that, people immediately are like, okay, no carbs ever. That's going to impair your performance on the field.
Explain to them how to utilize each meal we have, and then the other things that we've done. We've implemented some weight gain snacks. This is a big time of year for us to teach them some life skills. So one of our most important but also fun things that we do is the cooking demos with the players. Right now they'll get 11 between now and spring break. Tonight we're doing a cooking demo. We had some guys that are doing it virtual at home, and we have the rest of the guys are in here doing their demo. But tonight we did chicken parm pasta with the veggie. Big thing with us is trying to expose them to different things, like how to cut something, how to dredge it, how to put it in an air fryer, and also use a skillet. So it's a good way for the guys to come in here, bond with each other, and really get some life skill experience.
Then I'm going to put the Parmesan cheese, then the mozzarella cheese. It's gonna be in the air fryer until the cheese is melted and the chicken's cooked. I'm trying to walk them through chicken Parmesan. My 27 freshmen, as well as my 13 older classmen via Zoom. So we're doing a couple different things at once. And I'm just trying to walk them through step by step, show how easy it is, but I'll manage the online. I think it's going pretty well though, to be completely honest. It's better than expected, to be completely honest.
Everybody else chicken look grilled. Ours gonna look fried. Look, we got the seasoning on top of the breadcrumbs with the seasoning. That's so Miami.
Trying to really make sure they're utilizing the meals to put on the weight that they need to, or change their body composition in the way that they need to. We want them to make smart decisions. So us being around and always showing them what that looks like.
So like it's a different type of grind in the off season, but you still have to be on top of your work. You still have to eat intentionally, achieve your goal, whether that's going up or going down. And I think eating and cooking and knowing how to appreciate food gives you that competitive edge, that keystone to making that type of stuff happen.
So everything's built on relationships, and that's one of the things for us, is not just being as someone who just hands you a sheet of paper and says, here, this is what it's supposed to look like, good luck. It's us meeting them all places. It's maybe them texting us at night having questions, but it's being around and just really educating them throughout.
Players with Tai Robinson.
Tai, you're one of those guys that has a decision to make after this season. Where I guess, have you put any thought into your future at Nebraska beyond this year?
Yeah. So I've sat down with the coaches already, and we thought that it'd be in the best interest that I come back for another year. So I'll be returning for a 6th year.
Everybody in the country is looking for a defensive lineman. To have a guy who's a draft choice, for him to come back, that sets the tone for the whole offseason. It is probably the biggest recruitment win of the whole offseason.
I want him to dominate every single play he's on the field. I want him to play with unbelievable effort, that he's flying around the field, that he's not being blocked one-on-one. I want him to completely dominate games.
Sacrifice your body for the team! Yeah, for the game! And a love for each other! That's what we play for! Oh, don't go in there. Go potty or something, dude.
Come in.
You're such a bud, bro. Yeah, you just excited? Yeah?
He just excited. Come on. Come on. Oh. Now go in.
It was kind of something that, lingered the whole year. You kind of knew it was on his mind. You was kind of wondering like where he was leaning to, if he wanted to stay, if he wanted to leave. Obviously, he's going to be a really good player in the NFL. I think his best football is ahead of him.
You can feel it. You can start to feel like he was kind of thinking about it. It was weighing on him. He was asking questions here and there, and then all of a sudden, T-Night came around. They were walking in the hall, and he was like, "Would you like to have Tai back?" And I said, I think anybody in the country, including the NFL teams, want Tai. He's like, well, I think he's coming back. And sure enough, he said it, and he announced it, and he's run up and down here, and I think I jumped up and gave him a hug. He carried me, of course, but I tell you what, it's an exciting time.
After we lost to Wisconsin in overtime, I got back to the locker room. It just didn't sit right, and in the weeks prior, I'd been kind of going back and forth whether I should come back or not. And, all the reasons were kind of pointing to coming back, and then I think that game was kind of just a staple moment for me to decide on coming back.
When guys have an opportunity to play in the NFL, you want to push them towards that, but selfishly, you want to have them back as well. And Coach Rule, myself, Coach White, we kind of just let him decide what he wanted to do and let him know the pros and cons of both. He made the decision to come back and be a part of something special.
A big part about a winter offseason is adding mass, getting as strong as we can, laying that foundation to build upon those other athletic qualities. When we initially came here last winter, T-Rob had undergone a shoulder surgery, and he didn't really get to have a true winter offseason. Tai coming back, not only did that do wonders just for the D-line room with his experience and his knowledge, but from a training standpoint, you get to have a full offseason where you're not injured or you're not rehabbing a surgery, and you get to get as strong, get as big, get as mobile and athletic as you can to set yourself up for a really good spring ball, to set yourself up for a really good summer, and then to set yourself up for a really good season.
I can already tell a difference now. I mean, I'm stronger than I was now than I was in the summer when I came back.
Yes, Tyler.
That just, proves the point that coming back was a smart idea, and that how important winter conditioning is for fall.
One of the big things with Tai that me and him have discussed is really strengthening and working on his posterior chain. That's the powerhouse, your glutes, your hamstrings, the backside of your body. We want to get that as big and strong as we can because that's the motor. I want stronger legs, I want stronger glutes, I want a stronger core. It's the engine that's going to make the car go.
Stronger, more explosive, faster.
Hold that tape. Today right here.
I think last year I was a role player, but I wasn't really making that jump from being like an impactful player. I think the next step for me is to become that more impactful player.
And at first, when I first thought about it, there's no way this is going to work. He talked to us and said that Coach Knighton had told him he wants him to come into spring camp at about 310 pounds, and I started thinking about it. I actually went back to the Iowa game, and I remember a specific play in the Iowa game. Nash actually tackled the quarterback, and had Nash been a step faster, that pass never would have got off. Instead of a pressure or a hurry, it would have been a sack. So the more I thought about it, the more I thought, well, this comes with risk, but it could really pay off.
It's a good head start for him in the offseason for football because he's going to come back lighter. He's going to be stronger. So, pretty much for him, he's taking a different approach to the offseason than anybody else.
Me and Coach Fife, we talk at the beginning of every week, and we go through the wrestling schedule, their practice schedule, their competition schedule. From a football training standpoint, I have to still position him to be successful on the mat. We meet and discuss the plan of action every week. We talk about what days Nash should lift, what days he should recover, what's also done on those lift days to make sure that he's getting what he needs from a football standpoint, but also is ready for competition when that time comes from a wrestling standpoint. It all depends on when they're competing, because in talking to Coach Fife, I have to look at our week of training, so we may have to restructure and reorganize Nash's lifting schedule throughout the week to make sure that he's hitting the volume that he needs for me, but also making sure that he's recovered and ready to go come competition time for wrestling.
You think you're better than us? All right, buddy. We'll see what next, Bruce. Yeah, that's, hey, Nash, I don't know what to say about that one.
Yeah, wake up at 5:30, go in and lift, and then after a lift, eat a little breakfast and go to wrestling practice. Simple as that. It's just gonna make me better. It's just fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and it's only gonna make me better. So.
One thing that we talked about was being better with his hands, having faster hands.
Wrestle his hands!
It's just gonna help with my hands, with my leverage, just moving people, getting into weird positions.
Being able to torque guys and getting guys up off you and creating separation. You know, he's a machine, man. He just doesn't stop.
Coach Rule believes in it, in letting someone do what they're truly capable of doing. It's a unique feeling to have that backing, because I can tell you what, if he didn't have the support of everybody around him, I don't think that he would be as all in as he would. I don't think he would have chosen to wrestle.
I was nervous going in to just talk to Rule because it was like he didn't know if he was going to be in on it, if he was going to shut me down right away or what it was. So when I went in there and all the coaches were all in on the idea, like it really meant a lot. I told Manning like one of the first days, like if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it 100%. Like I'm not going to half-ass this thing, right? Like I'm going to go do it. So to have Rule and all them on my side 110% made that aspect of it just 10 times easier, just going in, just attacking every day.
I think it's just incredible from the standpoint that 6-7 weeks ago he was playing football, and then you're wrestling in the Big Ten. You know, I think he's grown a lot from just the couple weeks ago when he wrestled against Wyoming. So to see big growth, and you know, he's just a competitor, and that's big testimony of him to say, hey, I want to commit to actually doing this. It's a pretty big commitment, and just shows Nash has a lot of courage, and you know, we love it.
I mean, I think a big thing is I actually think about it, I'm like, I haven't even been here a full year yet. I think in a week I've been here a full year, but I think a big thing with that is like now our program has changed so much in a year, and just how much more successful we can make a student athlete with all the things we've implemented. So I think even with Tai, it's like one thing he's wanted to do is kind of drop his weight a little bit and then build it back up with the right kind of weight. So now I think that's something he's really focused on. I think coming to the cooking demos is helping, and then us just constant communication about you need to eat this at this time. And he's an older guy, so he's a little more mature about it and knows what he needs to do when, but just making sure everything about your routine is set so when he does go to the next level, he already has that under his belt, right?
Maybe it's a little too hot.
It's a little too hot. Okay.
Listen, nothing's wrong with a little crisp. Flatten it and then redo that same process. So Tai has big goals for himself, and he knows that nutrition is going to help him get there. I think he wants to make an impact on just the entire sport, and I think he knows that nutrition, being intentional about what he eats and getting his body comp how he wants it to be, and I think nutrition is going to be that competitive edge that sets him apart from everyone else in his position.
And you'll do a second batch of that, and you're done.
We're off to biochem, 4:32, and then hopefully eat some lunch after. The life of a student athlete.
That's your Lego day. I need a photo of you with a Lego set.
All right, I will.
You got a great graphic. We gotta celebrate our culture and our hobby.
I got you.
I need it right away.
I got class right now, but I got you after. Huh? I don't have a picture of me with one. I don't have a picture of me just holding one. So after class, let me run home and I got you.
I love you. Be safe.
Leave, yeah. It's National Lego Day, I guess. That's what I'm saying. No, ever since I hit that negative 36, I don't need a jacket anymore.
And now I pray that my iPad's charged.
Life's a little simpler now. Life's a lot easier once you have graduated. So when I finished up my degree, it was to help me with my pre-med route, and I just needed 1 or 2 more classes that would really fully cover the MCAT, and that was genetics, and then last semester, and then I'm in biochem 2 this semester.
You gotta face the music by yourself. It's a little scary, but you have some teammates around you. Get a little different perspective. Maybe you complain about the same thing.
With my nutritional health sciences degree, it helps with the pre-med recommendations or requirements. You know, once football is over, I plan on taking the MCAT to apply to med schools. My dream is to go to UNMC. It's kind of general, but in, pediatrics as a general pediatrician.
I don't know what half this thing is.
Our first homework, actual true homework, is going to be due Sunday night. So the homeworks are all on Sunday.
I know that one day you just gotta hang up the cleats, so you gotta have a backup plan. Football is only such a small part of your life, and I know I have a lot more life after football, and I feel like I have a lot more to give once it's done.
I think that the most important thing was the culture around him. He believed in what Corey and Kristen and Mitch were doing down there in the weight room and with the sports science and nutrition. And he was starting to feel like, hey, I'm around some guys that can truly develop me. I love where I'm at. I love playing for the lock-in on my helmet. I think all that came together the right way.
He has untapped potential. He doesn't know how good he can be, and that's something I'll definitely be pushing this offseason with him mentally in the weight room and mat drills, and helping him develop that mindset of every single play I'm going to dominate.
These 3 seniors, Peyton Robb, Brandon Van Tassel, and Nash Hotmaker, are 3 tremendous young men that represent our program, and most of all, they represent our state and our university in first-class manner, and we're just fortunate to have them here with us in Nebraska wrestling. How Nash joined our program is really a testament of Coach Rule and his staff, Terrence Knight, and their belief in us. Nash means a whole lot coming out for wrestling. His last year of collegiate athletics and being a 2-sport guy is a tough task, and just shows, he's a competitive football player, but he just takes that same competitive nature over to our sport, and we're just blessed to have him on our team, and thanks to Coach Rule to believing in us.
Dual sport athlete.
Continue to have elite execution, championship level effort, right, as we teach them to do. You're good, transition to class, real time.
Let's work. Let's go. Come on. 1 better on me, 1 better on 3. 1, 2, 3. 1 better.
It's a really good year 2. I say that because year 1, it was learning a lot of the guys, them learning me, how I approach things, how I coach, like what my expectation and what my standard is for them. And in year 2, you understand that and you build off of it.
Effort, man. Point A to point B. Let's be engaged. Do this shit at a high level.
now we got to take that next step. We got to make that next leap. Instead of it being very coach-led by me all the time, it's, well, you guys understand the standard and the expectation. You lead it.
Good, man. Cool, man. Good, man. Pull it, man. Young-minded bull gotta go. The average 5 and 7 bull gotta go. Because we ain't doing that no more. 30 of y'all ain't gonna be here in August. 30 of you are not going to be here in August. We done been through year 1. That was all that we had to tell y'all to do. Now you need to tell each other what to do.
Hey, we can't just say one better. You gotta be that. Come on.
Okay, enough emotional.
One better on me, one better on 3. 1, 2, 3.
One better. Touch.